I'm making my version of a peanut butter pie, but mine is an almond butter pie. Mine's also dairy-free and has a gluten-free crust, and it's no bake. I'm trying to think what else I can say about it. Oh yeah, it's really, really, really good. And this is how we get started. I've got 3 cups of pretzels in my food processor that I've just blitzed, and I want to get them into fine crumbs because this has a pretzel crust and a gluten-free pretzel crust. You can use any crust that you want. Use regular pretzels if you want. I just wanted to go this route. And I'm going to add in a 1/3 cup of melted butter. I want this butter to just kind of help this crust to stick together. And we're going to give it one more blitz. All right, that should do it. I'm going to pour that crust into my pie pan, and I'm going to use a measuring cup to just kind of help me pack it all down and get it up the sides. This is an 8-inch pie pan. This is actually enough crust if you wanted to do a 9-inch pie. It would be totally fine. That's packed down really nicely, and I've got one other special touch for this. This is dulce de leche, a 1/4 cup of melted dulce de leche. Dulce de leche, however you pronounce it, and I'm going to drizzle that over the bottom, and that's going to help it stick together, but also give it this really awesome caramely layer at the very bottom of your almond butter pie that people are not expecting, but man, it's going to be so good and give it some really good flavor. And then all I need to do is stick this in my freezer while I'm making everything else, making the filling, and it'll be ready for my filling when it's done. All right, in here I have 8 ounces of pretty soft vegan cream cheese. You can use regular cream cheese if you wanted to. And then I have a cup of almond butter. Now this is all natural, the no stir kind of almond butter, and it's salt-free and sugar-free. So I'm needing to put in just a little bit of salt because I kind of want that salty, even though we're going to have a little bit of salt in the pretzel crust. I'm also going to want it here. And then before you add this lovely stuff in, Cocoa Whip, which is kind of like the dairy-free hydrogenated oil version, hydrogenated oil-free version of whipped toppings that are in your freezer section. I love to use this because it's made with coconut milk and coconut oil. So I'm going to mix the vegan cream cheese and the almond butter together really, really, really well. I had a whisk if I thought I would need it, but it looks like it's coming together very nicely. And then this is the sweetness. You don't need to add any additional sugar. This is going to make it sweet enough without it being overly sweet. And remember, you've got that dulce de leche crust, that layer on the bottom that's going to be so yummy. I'm going to add in a container of this Cocoa Whip. See how easy this is? It's coming together in a jiffy. No pun intended. But I'm going to mix this really well, and then I'm going to pour it into my crust. All right, crust is out of the freezer, and I just need to pour my filling into it. I want to get every little last bit of this out of there. This is going to be really good. I mean, everybody loves the peanut butter pie, right? And this is the ultimate version that is so quick to put together. I mean, you could literally do this for a weeknight dinner dessert, a little something special. All right, spread it pretty evenly, kind of like so. I'm leaving much of the crust show because it's so pretty. It's really nice. I've reserved a little bit of those pretzel crumbs that I'm going to sprinkle over the top. But I have one last step. I have about 2 tablespoons of this stuff. This is a dairy-free half and half. It's made with almond milk and coconut cream, and I like to use this in dairy-free situations, and a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. And you're going to make a little ganache by putting this in your microwave in 30-second increments until it melts and comes together pretty nicely. And then we're going to drizzle this over the top for just that certain something to put it all together. All right, this just took 30 seconds in my microwave, and I'm like mixing it really, really well. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And then I'm just going to kind of, you could put this in a piping bag and do designs if you wanted to, but I'm just going to kind of artfully splotch it. I guess that's what that's called, right? A splotch across the top. Man, I'm doing a good job. That looks pretty. Who knows? And I'm going to kind of do some in the other direction. I just want to make sure I get tons of chocolate on here. Just because, you know, chocolate and peanut butter, and then you've got that caramely dulce de leche bottom layer is just phenomenal. Oh yeah, now I'm just going crazy. But I don't want to waste any of this, right? And a little extra chocolate is never a bad thing in my opinion. All right, then a few of those pretzel crust over the top, just for that glorious finishing touch. And that looks pretty. All right, I'm gonna let it chill in my freezer for probably about an hour. It will set up very nicely, and then I'll slice and serve. I can't wait for this. It's gonna be good. This amazing almond butter pie is out of the freezer. I didn't want to totally freeze it, I just wanted it to set. It was probably in there for close to an hour, and I sliced myself off a little piece, and man, is it good. That crunchy, pretzel-y crust with the thin layer of dulce de leche, and then that wonderfully creamy almond butter filling, topped with the chocolate ganache. This stuff is killer, it's dynamite. I did want to give a disclaimer. I said dairy-free and I used regular butter in it. You can use the Miyoko's or any other brand of vegan butter. I frequently do that, and I had forgotten when I was making the crust that I didn't. But it can be dairy-free if you want to do that. Also use the dairy-free vegan cream cheese if you like that. If not, you can use the regular butter, regular cream cheese. It all works equally well, and this is so delicious. Very quick to put together. The recipe's on taylorkitchen.net. You've got to check it out.